NHL lockout situation and the players that come and win a division championship. What do you feel like this team has proven so far?
I think there has been a lot of different phases of this season. I think there's been some ups and downs. You know, I think we've proven that we're a playoff team. That's what I think we've proven. I don't think we've proven that we're better than the other teams in the playoffs. I think we've proven that we're a playoff team.
How important is that going in with the #1 seed to you guys?
The only advantage of that is home ice. I think it's more important how you're playing going in, and Milwaukee's played better than we have over the last 10 games, 20 games. So I think it, you know, and that's an indication of where you're at right now, and that's the most important thing. What you did in, you know, in October, November really doesn't matter. It's what you're doing now. So I think they're playing a little better than we are, and I think we have to improve our game.
You say that home ice is the advantage, and yet you have to go out and start the series on the road. You don't have any say in that, but how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I think it's, you know, the one thing that's good for us is we've played well on the road, but it's always tough in another team's rink for sure. It's a tough place to start, and the only thing you can ever do is make it work. Like you don't have any other choice. That's what you're doing, so you got to try to make the best out of it. But it will be a tough situation.
Milwaukee, I think it's 15 or 14 out of the last 20 games are wins for them. What have they, from what you've seen and heard about them, what have they been able to do that's really helped them make that push and for the playoffs, and what's made them that hot team?
You know, I think they're well coached. I think they execute their systems. Their goaltender was player of the week, so he's playing real well. And they got a big, heavy team, but they work hard and they play hard. So it's, you know, it's a combination of a lot of things just coming together for them. And you know, I think maybe they had a few injuries early, and I think now they're a little healthier.
It's interesting. You played them twice over this year, but those are points where those are completely different teams with how the season has gone.
Yeah, that really doesn't make any difference where we're at. Like that was, you know, that was a long time back. So we just have to focus on now, and we have to focus on us. We have to make sure we're ready.
The Texas Stars and Milwaukee have played some playoffs games before, and when they played more often, it always seemed like they were defensive, grinding games. Is that what you anticipate in this series?
I anticipate. I think both teams have good goaltending. I think both teams work really hard, and I think it's always hard to score when you have those two things, you know. So I would expect it to be a hard, you know, I know they'll play hard, and we have to make sure we match that.
You mentioned goaltending. Have you made a decision about who's your Game 1 starter yet?
No, we'll wait for a little bit. You know, that's the luxury we have. Of both guys have played really well, so we'll wait for a little bit to decide.
Coach, a lot of young guys on the team that have been up and down and in and out of the lineup. How do you mentally prepare them for playoffs?
I think all of them have played playoffs someplace else in their history, so they've been prepared for playoffs, because playoffs is different than regular season for sure. So for them, it's just keeping them focused. It's, you know, we've got a job to do, and these are the things we have to do it. So I think if it's you know, if you have good habits, then playoffs will take care of themselves.
You've been able to juggle and rest the bevy of defensemen throughout the last quarter of the regular season. When you get to the playoffs, do you try and get a set group of guys that you stick with? How do you start handling that in those crucial playoff games?
For sure, I like having a group of guys I go with. You know, I think it's important that guys know that they're counted on to do a job, and that may mean a group of 7. I'm not saying it means just a group of 6, but it wouldn't be a big group.
Coach, depending on how Dallas' situation goes, they need to win a lot of games here to get into the playoffs. You could be getting some guys back. How do you balance those guys versus the ones that you currently have in the top 6? Because that puts you, you know, there's probably 8 players that have played in the top 6 throughout the season.
Yeah, I don't think about that, because I don't expect that to happen. I think Dallas is going to do well, and I'm hoping that they do well. And so we'll react to that when it occurs, if it occurs. But I think they have a real good shot, so we're pulling for them, and we'll be ready with the guys we have.
From a photogenic standpoint, I would say there's one guy that definitely stands out on the ice right now. What's going on with Luke Gazdic?
Gazzy, I don't know. Gazzy's Gazzy. His game's been real good. That's all I know. I don't know how photogenic he is or how he looks. I just know how he plays, and he's played well.
How would you describe that look that he's got going on?
I don't know. I think it's playoff ready, anyways.
Did mention Gazdic, putting him with McKenzie, kind of guy kind of plays a similar style, kind of a little bit of mentorship there?
A little bit. You know, I think Gazdic has a pretty good attention to detail and a real good leader on our team. So he's been good for us this year, and he's played well lately.
How are you anticipating to use or not use some of the younger guys who've just come in, like Foxa, Yoki Paka, and Klingberg, who's on his way?
We'll see what happens with that. Right now, we'll probably go with the guys we've got. They'll get the first chance at it, and if it doesn't go the way we want, then and they aren't playing the way we need them to play, then maybe we'll look at somebody else.
Anyone else?
All set, guys?
All right.